Hey, I'm Dan with HRT, and
no, you're not, your buddy. Take two.
Hi, I'm Buddy the Elf, and today we're talking about our holiday gift giving guide. So for real though, we're going to talk about a couple different tiers. We're going to talk about some gifts that might be exciting, things you're looking forward to as opposed to what other people might buy you for Christmas. So we're going to go over things that you'll actually want and actually use, give you some additional ideas of maybe some new and unique products, talk about some of our products as well, and really just round out a nice video showing you some awesome gifts. So feel free to send this to some other people that maybe are looking at gifts for you so they make sure they get the right stuff, or just find some things that maybe you want yourself. All right, so as you can see, we have now decked out our table with all of the stocking stuffers. So these are $25 or less. And they're going to be smaller items for the most part that can fit into, obviously, your stocking. Or you can get a couple of them maybe. So we'll start here, your right, my left. We're going to look at these Duke Cannon cold shower wipes. So these are like cooling field towels. They're like an inexpensive means to have basically a shower in the field without having running water. Good thing to like pack a couple of these up, maybe like a Ziploc bag or something, throw them into a vehicle, to your kit somewhere, backpacks, things like that. So always a nice thing to have handy if you get into some nasty messes or something. We'll talk about the all-important CHEM light. So you can get a bulk pack of these off of Amazon or a number of other retailers. I really like having a number of these. The IR ones are cool, but the visible ones are a little bit more handy generally. Leave a bunch of these in your car, in some of your kit, stuff like that. I've used like 3 in the last week, ironically. So these are a great little addition. You can grab a pack of those really cheap. We have our HRT tack beanie, which you can find on our website in multicam and black. That's something that will be a great little add-on. Nice to throw in a pocket or a coat pocket or something during the winter. Keep yourself nice and warm and use a little fancy pass-throughs for your sunglasses. One of the other awesome things that you probably burn through a ton of would be batteries. So if you got flashlights, handhelds, weapon lights, pistol lights, usually those are running off of CR123 batteries. So you can find those at our website as well. This one's an interesting little piece here. This is the Gerber pledge knife. So this would be an under $25 knife. Good texture, nice little ledge here to flip it open. And then one of those crossbar locking systems here. Super sharp, a nice little handy knife for those who like to carry something around day to day. And that clip is nice and low profile as well, so it won't poke out of your pocket. Another thing would be the patches. So everybody's got lots of patches on all of our gear or onto your kit, backpacks, things like that. So these are a great little inexpensive thing to buy. We get these from KEYSTONE. They make some awesome ones. These are really good quality, so we like using their stuff. But there's a multitude of other brands you can use depending on what you might be looking for. Another great tip would be the MAGPUL P-Mags. You can get the Gen 2s really cheap and the Gen 3s pretty cheap. You can get a bunch of these for usually less than $20 a pop from pretty much anywhere. So always handy to have those and buy mags before someone tries to ban them. Another cool thing to check out would be the HRT utility pouch. I've got a couple of these on different spots in my kit. They'll hold like the knives or flashlights, handheld lights, multi-tools. Some things we'll talk about later can all fit into a pouch like that. So it's a great little lightweight piece to have somewhere on your kit. We have a whole video on these that you might want to check out, but the peak refuels are a great little option if you're going to be out camping, hiking, out in the woods, or maybe somewhere where you don't have power to make your food and stuff. Those are great little additions, and they come in under the $25 mark for us to put those into this list. And lastly on the table here, we have some beef jerky. It's always nice to have some snacks like that for the range or hiking or on patrol or something like that. So a little pack like that where they're nice and small, individually packaged, like bite pieces are pretty nice for when you're moving and packing things out. But really any type of field or range snack like that would be a great option. All right, as you can see, we have now changed the table out to have our white elephant tier. So these are gifts that are a little bit more expensive. They might be, maybe you'd give them on a white elephant, maybe you'd give them just as a gift or ask for them. But they're gonna be a little bit more valuable than our stocking stuffers, and they're a little bit non-traditional. You're probably gonna wanna know the person or be at maybe an event where this would be entertaining stuff. You go to maybe your office party and they probably won't appreciate rifle slings, but hey, depends on where you work. That would work here. So on this list, we're going to start here on the same side. This is one of the Princeton Tech headlamps. So this has a nice little pivoting body, so I can change where I'm focusing this light depending on how I want to wear it. And then I have a couple different color options as well. So different brightnesses, different color types. It's a very handy system. It's nothing crazy, but it is a nice little usable piece. Use that maybe to read your books in bed, not bother your wife. Who knows which one to use it for. So next we'll talk about the HRT combat slings. These are the non-padded versions. They'll get you in at that price point. They do come with a fancy schmancy rubber band for you to put on your stock, do that little Gucci Ranger band thing. And then they have a nice pull tab that is solid for you to be able to grab onto. And we have a whole different batch of colors. There's black, M81, multicam, Ranger green, 7 different color options, so you can find one that fits well for you. And then obligatory, now I have a machine gun, ho, ho, ho. Now I can move along. Another thing that might be cool would be some type of radio system. BAOFENGs are going to be less expensive, but there are other options that would be maybe in the sub $100 range even that you can pick up some nice radios. I had some TYT radios, some of the high terrors if you're feeling extra Gucci, but there's a number of different options. You can even find some Midland radios and stuff like that that are US made that are in that same price point. So always a good option to have some good communication systems. Now this is a really cool one. This is actually so cool that I put it on my own list. These are battery packs made by NESTOUT. Looks like it's a little flask type thing, but it is a hardened and waterproof case for you to charge up devices with. They have an entire ecosystem on their website, so if you want to really get into it, they have lights that will mount on the top of these, and then they have a little tripod adapter, so you can put this on maybe a camera stand or something you might already have. And now you can illuminate your campsite off of this battery pack. They last a really long time, and they're IP67, and I can straight spike this into the ground and not worry about it breaking, so that's pretty cool. I put these and then even their solar panel system on, little charging solar panel system onto my list. It's a cool little camping or out in the woods and don't have access to electricity system. Another cool thing would be some type of nice gloves. So these are the HELIKON brand. Yeah, these are HELIKON techs. Really nice glove. They're actually fairly well used and they're still holding up really nicely. You have really good dexterity out of these, good color patterns, and then they're inexpensive. So that's, you can buy like 3 or 4 pair of those compared to some of your really expensive high-end glove systems. And they're still working just fine. So another thing we have here on the list is the HANGY thing, which we do have a full video on as well. So the HANGY thing allows you to attach any type of paracord system to whatever device you might be using. So in this case, we have them on some headsets, but you could attach those to staple guns, maybe a pen, Sharpie, something like that you want to have with you at the range. And then you'll hook it on to your belt as well with their machined clip. So this here is the clip system on an arc belt. And as you can see, all I gotta do is just push this down and now lock it in, and now I won't lose my headset while I'm walking around on the range, or my staple gun, Sharpie, whatever I might have chosen to put on some paracord. This is a nice low profile way of hanging that on your kit and making sure it's with you when you need it. All right, up next we have the Fire Maple little portable stove system. We actually used this when we made all of our peak refuel videos. This is a really awesome way to get some hot water going. Packs up nicely and contains all of your components you might need for it. Just hook it up to some type of gas system and you're ready to go. These are impressively under $50, so it's a really cool option for you to grab for maybe a white elephant gift or just put on your own list. So another cool item would be the HRT windbreakers. This is our new M81. It's kind of like a combat shirt style. So these do have a nice hood, quarter zipper, and then there's a drawstring at the bottom to make it nice and tight on your body. These are a great little piece of kit to throw into vehicles or into your go bags or something like that. They fold up really nice and compact into a little pouch. So definitely recommend checking these out. We have a whole bunch of colors for them as well. And you can see we have this fancy ALPS mountaineering chair. This is a fold-up chair that packs away into a nice little bag we have attached on the back of the seat. So this is a great way if you're heading out to a range day, a unit range day, if you're just going to be out doing, zeroing and shooting in the range or something, if there's not seating, this is a nice little thing you can carry around that's super lightweight that I can take out to the range and have that set up so I can have a nice seat somewhere. I know that it's pretty common for dudes to bring things like that out on like unit range days and things where you're just gonna be standing around on the berm for hours or sit in the pits. So having something like this is a whole lot nicer than sitting on the concrete in the pits, and it's under $50, so it makes for a nice little gift as well. All right, so another item would be the SNAKESTAFF Systems ETQ. This is a small, like pocket-sized tourniquet setup. We've really enjoyed messing with these and have had good experiences with them in training environments. They make for a good, I'll open it up, nice little handy piece to carry around if you don't want to have like a full-size Gen 7 cat or something like that. They're gonna be a little bit smaller. They still have a nice heavy-duty windlass system, so it's not gonna snap on you. You can still lock it into those tabs, and they have the nice little gate that closes over top, so it won't go anywhere. And then they have this fancy little glow stick that you can crack should you want to signal where this is at. If it's in a low light environment, you can show EMS or whoever where that's at, and they can see it a little bit faster. Or good for like training environments where you can show, hey, I've done this one or whatever. So a very handy system. It's under $50. It's a great little small tourniquet piece that you can carry around. We recommend these as a nice little feature as well to throw into your kit. So these have been our white elephant options. As you can see, there's a whole range of products depending on what you might particularly want, from some headgear, some lights, some radios, power banks, cooking utensils, and seats. So we have a whole long list of items there, and you can find those down in the description as well for those specific links. And maybe throw some things in you might want to put into your white elephant kit in the comments as well. All right, so we have redone our table now with the nice list. So these are items that are $50 and up. We haven't really capped a limit here, but anything on this table is gonna be $50 and up. It's gonna be some of the nicer gifts, some more usable tools, things you want to carry with you in your actual gear, or maybe even wear as your actual gear. So starting off here on the left side of the table, we have an HRT LBAC. This is one of our multicam variants. So this would be an awesome setup. If you're looking for a little bit more of an expensive gift, maybe you're gonna treat yourself, or maybe you wanna use it for work or something. So the LBAC is gonna be a great feature-rich carrier with your rigid core and harness system for good support, and then a placard up front and the option to use back panels over in the back here. So a pretty awesome setup. So another piece maybe to go with your LBAC would be one of our Maximus placards. So this, as you can see, has a insert slot for different magazine types. It'll come with the 3 AR-15 insert. Then it has 2 large pouches up front for you to fill out with whatever gear or doodads you might want. And we can see this one is nicely stocked with different tools and accessories put into here. Some ear pro, some lights, some cuffs, some chem lights, all kinds of different little accessories in there. So maybe if you're feeling super generous, you might buy a Maximus placard and stock it with some magazines and some spare gear as well. Definitely maybe if you're gonna get one, put some magazines in it with some actual ammo in it, and now you've got the best gift of the year right there. Next we'll look at the IWA flashbangs. So they have smokes and flashbangs. Those are all some pretty great gifts there. Once you add in the cost to do any type of hazmat shipping as well as the units themselves, you're looking at definitely over $50. So it's worth it to buy 3, 4, 5 of them at the same time. So those are going to be an excellent guide for the nice list. So next we have the Gerber Dual Force. So this is a pocket-sized multi-tool that you can throw into maybe like one of the HRT utility pouches. Folds up nice and compact, goes into your pocket, one of these pouches, something like that. When you open it up though, you have access to an actual pair of pliers, not just like the needle nose points. You still have your ability to cut wires or things like that, and then you have your wire stripping system as well that's built onto here. And then it folds up nicely for you to still use any of your additional tools off the outside, which is a personal preference of mine. Like I don't like having my tools on the inside. So having them on the outside where I can actually get to them. We've got some like files and chisels. We've got a saw blade. And over here we've got our knife blade. And then a really cool feature that they have added is a inline screwdriver kit. And there is even storage for extra bits. So this, the way that it is designed, gets you your bit into the center, So if you are working, you have your normal feel of a screwdriver, not the like awkwardly balanced type you get with a lot of these. And then these tools all have a nice locking mechanism so they don't collapse in you while you're using them. So that's a pretty cool little setup there as well. We also have the Tecto G2 knife. So this is a very sharp little folding knife. It's extremely lightweight. It's more of like one of those gentleman carry knives. This blade is very sharp. We're all a little bit terrified of it over here. Not really. But it truly is very sharp, and it's extremely light. My normal like EDC knife I think is pretty light, and this is like ounces compared to that. So well balanced, nice package, very grippy texture, definitely deserves a place on this list. Up next we have the Sparrow lockpicking kit. So this has all of your different standard size lockpicking key sections. And then built into the back here, we have our little tension bar, and that's contained inside of the housing here. So it's a very nifty design, and these also lock in place. So I can do my work and not worry about this falling out while I'm doing the work. And then I want to put it away, all I have to do is pinch the lever back here, and I can fold it back in nicely, tucks away into a little compact setup. So this is a cool little piece. It is nicely machined as well, so it's not a plastic body. This is all a metal body. Really think this is a great gift as well, especially for those who forget their keys a lot. Grab yourself one of these. We also have the HRT AWLS series. This could be maybe you want to get one of the like actual rifle mounted lights, or you want the handheld version. So there's a bunch of different options, but these would be a great gift as well. The handheld would be the lesser expensive of the options, but we do have the rifle lights in the Mark III and the Mark VI versions. So depending on what you want to put it onto, these would be a great handy piece. They'll also go into the fancy utility pouches as well, so maybe do a 2-for-1 combo between the utility pouch and the light. Next up would be some offerings from Trained Monkey Blades. So you've probably seen we've done a couple different collaborations with them. This is an HRT Tomahawk setup that they've got live on their website now. But there's also a host of knives and other tools you can find on their website. They make some excellent products, and they take a lot of time to build these to some really high specs, really good quality, and they're not using cheap components. So check those out at Trained Monkey Blades. You will really enjoy some of their knife collections and some of their tools as well. Another piece we have out here is going to be the Mantis Blackbeard system. You can see we have it set up here on this rifle. The Mantis system is a replacement for your charging handle and your bolt carrier with this piece here. And then it has a battery pack that goes into the magazine well of your rifle. And so when you put all these things together, it will manually reset your firing pin, well, your trigger, reset your hammer inside of your AR-15 platform rifle, and then you can do all of your dry fire practice with your normal trigger feel, and it will reset it for you as opposed to having to manually rack the bolt and all that stuff. So it does allow you to do repeat trigger pulls. It's great for like competitive practice or just regular dry fire. I've had one for about 3 years now, and mine is still running nice and strong. They're very durable and they'll last a long time. They're great for classes if you're doing like CQB classes or shoot house related classes where maybe you don't want to run your rifle in simunition rounds where it's going to be really expensive, but you still want to be able to know where your hits are going. This is a great option. It's also good if you want to check a zero in an optic or something, you can run that laser. There's a laser that emits out the front, and you can see where that's going in relation to your optic. So a very cool option to have. I really recommend those for different types of dry fire training. And finally on the list here, we've got the Fix-It sticks. This is the rifle and optics toolkit. So this includes all of these fancy bits and drivers and even a torque wrench set up inside of the kit. And these go into a nice handy black compact bag. I love these things. They're super, super, super helpful to have in the range, especially when someone's scope comes off and they're super livid at the range. Having this in your bag is an awesome way to remedy that problem. The torque wrench is included is phenomenal. I always make sure that's in my kit somewhere just because we've had screws back out on things, optics that have issues or rings that have issues, and it's great having this kit in your bag. For the price, it's really hard to beat this. Otherwise, you're going out and buying 3 to 4 to 5 different toolkits to get what they include into this one unit. So I'm going to highly recommend one of these. It's a great option to get for your kit. All right, so this is the nice list. There's plenty of other things we could bring out here, but this is kind of like our top 10-ish products that are on this list that covers a wide variety of uses and users. So if there's someone you saw here that was a good fit, make sure you let those people who might be getting you gifts know where to find these items. All the links will be attached in the description as well. All right, so last up is going to be our naughty list. As you can see, we've laid out a bunch of things here on the table. And these are going to be the items that either you don't want, or maybe you're going to give to someone you maybe don't like, or you just want to mess with. Probably don't recommend any of the items on this table. The only one that's probably any type of decent quality is probably this, as much as I hate to say it. And we'll get to that later. So starting at the far end here, we have import tourniquets that are knockoffs of the real thing. So this is one of those Amazon special tourniquets. If you probably look at this thing too hard, the windlass will break. And if you look at it even harder, one of these will break. And if you look even harder, the strap will break. So I'm just going to set it to the side now before we get into that. You guys don't look at it either, because it could still probably break a windlass just from that. We also have one of the knockoff Hellstars or other variants where it's one of these tactical lights to put on your helmet or something. It might work, it might not. Who knows how long it'll work? Who knows if it's actually IR right now? I don't know. But there are better alternatives to that. HRT has some better alternatives to this. So just grab one of those and spend $3 more to get that as opposed to this thing. So just please don't bother. This one is going to be a fun one. So this is the high energy bar. These are imported. They contain like 5 ingredients. When you have things like the Peak Refuel bar, I'm not really sure why you would want to mess with one of these or any type of other granola bar. We're kind of curious, so we're going to find out what these are even like. I'm sure everybody else wants to try one, so I'll break a piece off instead of just gnawing on it. This is basically flour, soybean flour, peanut flour, edible salt. Thankfully, it's edible salt. It's like a thick communion wafer. It's basically flour, so it goes away immediately. All right, so next up would be some type of TEMU or Amazon plate carriers. They're going to be usually from an import company. They're not going to be as nice quality. The material won't be very nice. The stitching won't be very nice. The Velcro won't be very nice. The buckles won't be very nice. They probably won't even be serviceable after a couple of uses. And they might even be reflective. So all the great features that you want in your hard-earned money going into a carrier. So make sure you grab your equipment like that from a reputable manufacturer. It's going to need to last and work long-term for you. All right, the next one is going to be the Veteran Special. This is a PARACORD bracelet that is from some random who knows who import company with a very unusual buckle system that literally threads off, because that's not annoying or anything, but whatever. These were a fad for a while. I'm still not really sure why. It's not like this little plate does anything for you. It'd be one thing if it maybe had some tools in it, but it doesn't even have that. So if you got someone who's like one of those classic bro vets and it's like their entire identity, this is the ticket. This is what you need right here. Put this in the stocking stuffer list way at the front. Not the naughty list, but if anybody else, I guess that's the naughty list. We'll leave it at that. Now another thing, this is a 2-for-1 special. This is the fancy schmancy iron sight system. Congratulations, you've all been got. So you can get your little, this deal going on with your rear sight or front sight, or we flipped them on this one, and then KEYMOD, because everybody likes KEYMOD. So this is probably the most usable KEYMOD rail. It doesn't even have a barrel nut, so you can't even install it. This is what you should all aspire to use on your AR-15s. I'm actually going to take all the rails off of these rifles over here and swap them to KEYMOD, because, man, the great value M-LOK is really where it's at, right there. This is an Aldi M-LOK special. These are kind of funny, though, to be fair. If you got a buddy that's really annoying and he never zeroed his iron sights to begin with, swap these on instead. It's not going to hurt anything because he never zeroed them. So bully your friends until they zero their iron sights as well, or they remove them, either one, and then get them KEYMOD. All right, I'm divided between the best for last, this monstrosity or this monstrosity. I think we'll talk about this monstrosity. So if you know someone who's an avid concealed carrier, they need a concealed carry badge so that everybody knows they can put on their belt right next to their gun, probably over here because it's open carry probably if they need one of these. So this says concealed weapons permit. It's blank, there's no number. This is what they need. Everything we've talked about, throw it away and get one of these. Heavy duty badge. Everyone's gonna know your authorita when you pull that one out. Please do not get these. I've been asked in classes before if people should get those. Please do not get those. They're dumb. Someone's gonna accuse you of playing a police officer and then you're gonna have a spare felony charge just for waving that around after an incident. So just please don't get it. And last but certainly not least is this glorious surplus cold weather mask. It is just a cold weather mask. No, we did not buy this in an adult store. This is what you need if it's below like 35 degrees. You probably want one of these. Your face is gonna just freeze right off. They're very full of useful tools. You can just pop the little snap here and you can eat your lovely little bar through there, or you can breathe better by opening the snaps here. It's totally not nightmare fuel, but those are great additions. I'm sure you can find a use for that somewhere. In all reality, everything that we have here on the table, we're going to advise you not to get. It's definitely the naughty list products. Try and stay away from those. Get quality gear, get quality cold weather equipment. I mean, that probably works, but there's some better options around. So find some good products. There's some things maybe that you'd put on the naughty list. Throw those in the comments as well. But this has been our little rendition of that. All right, so we hope you've enjoyed our annual holiday gift giving guide. This is our guide for 2024. We hope that we've covered a number of different pricing tiers and interests that would be of value to you guys as our viewers. If there's something you feel like maybe we missed or that your other fellow patriots should see, throw that maybe into the comments and maybe other folks can find new gear and accessories that they might want to use as well or send to their family members. All the items we've discussed today can either be found on our website or they'll be in the links below the video, so you can look for those as well if you have any interest in these products. And then, hey, we just hope that you guys have enjoyed this video. We'll be back next year to do the same thing with some new products as well then. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and swing by the site to check out any new tactical gear you might need for yourself. Thanks again for watching this video. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.